I'd completely support 100% walk out, to be honest. I'm an ex-NHS nurse, still do
hang on, you don't
in the
mean
private sector.
Walking out forever, do you?
At the moment, why not? Because
because people
all you
need
get
operations,
is attacked by
Scott.
people like yourself, and basically saying the reason you come into the profession was because you care for people. So does that preclude us from having a decent salary?
No, of course it doesn't.
And that's all we seem to get thrown back at us, the damage we'll do.
You asked me a question.
The NHS isn't just breaking, it's broken.
Okay, you did ask me a question. And of course they have every right to...
I apologise, I'm just really clear, obviously.
Okay, sir. Are you one yourself? You're a junior doctor yourself, are you, sir?
No, I'm an ex-NHS nurse. I've been nursing for 40 years. So
okay, sir. The work that you and your colleagues did or do now is of absolute unparalleled significance and importance. We should give thanks on a daily basis for the skill and dedication you and all people like you put in. But there comes, and of course they should take industrial action. But to me, I wonder if there comes a point, a one-day dispute, I get it. 4 days, that's effectively a working week. Isn't there a point there where you say, look, we'll take 2 days, but we have got to make people better? Scott?
I think we've just got to the point now. Sorry, I disagree. I mean, I know where you're coming from, and I agree it would be tragic if something happened, but things are happening now. You're talking about a group of people, the junior doctors, who roll onto a ward on their first day and they don't have a clue, but they're a doctor, so they're expected to make life-saving decisions, quite literally, on their first couple of days.
Yes.
These guys don't just work a shift. I mean, yes, you have to be intelligent to be a doctor, but the dedication they actually give to the study and everything else is incredible. It's literally 365 days a year
it's life
these
or
guys
death.
are studying. They give
life.
up literally most of their lives before they're 30, before they can even think about having a family. And I think all health service, all basic workers, I think, get treated really shabby in this country anyway. But junior doctors...
Have you now retired, lastly, Scott, or are you still
No, I work in a private health now because actually they have better conditions and they pay you more.
Right, okay.
But I had 40 years in the NHS, which after COVID, when we get the slap in the face after COVID, it was time to go.
No, I was just saying, I work in an industry that is absolutely mission critical. It is getting food from the field to people's mouths. Now, if this industry didn't exist, then the NHS would be far, far busier with people that were starving. And when I hear that some of these doctors after 10 years are only earning £28 an hour, and I think, God, I wish.
I'm not sure about that £28 an hour, but I have to say so, and please don't think I'm being confrontational. These men and women have trained for 5, 6, 7 years in some instances.
Yes.
They deserve a reward.
I think they are getting well paid. I mean, some of these doctors are retiring in their 50s because they are, they've already got over £1 million in their pension pot.
Hold on. Let me just, and again, I don't want this to become a fight, but respectfully, sir, I think you're muddling it. The mostly young junior doctors, they're not all young, but the mostly young junior doctors who we will see coming out are at the start of their career. They're nowhere near £1 million. And in some instances, albeit year one, they're not making £30,000 a year. Now, I know for a lot of people that sounds a fortune, but if you've put in the amount of studying that you have and the decisions about people's lives rest in your hands, it's not a lot of money.
But they're not going to go, once they have got the experience, they are going to be extremely, extremely well paid.
Not all of them. Some will stay in the NHS. I tell you what, why don't we talk to one? Stay on the line, please, sir. Kearthy is in Brighton. Kearthy, oh gosh. Greg says you're paid too much. How do you react? Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Nick. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Good to have you on.
I'm actually on my way to work about an hour and a half before I'm actually scheduled to turn up at work, and just want to make 2 really quick points. First of all, most of us, I don't know a single junior doctor that works the exact contracted hours they're meant to. Pretty much all of us work above it. I'd probably say every time we've had a demand of a dining exercise for overworking hours, we've been back paid significant amounts of money because the actual diary cutting exercise has shown that we work significantly more hours than we're meant to. And the second issue, which I think unfortunately been lost in the conversation a little bit, is the amount of debt medical students leave with. So I'm, if you like, a sort of senior junior doctor. I graduated in 2009. I'm an ophthalmology registrar, so an eye surgeon. I'm 2 years away from being a consultant, but I'm still technically a junior doctor.
How many years did you study, sir?
So I went to medical school in 2003. And I'm still technically in training. So I think probably been studying for 20 years now.
When you hear people say they think you're earning enough, if not too much already, how do you respond?
So the problem is that people focus on the wrong thing. So first of all, if we look at the actual hourly rate in terms of the hours that we work, it's not that high at all. Secondly, the debt issue is really important. So I graduated medical school in 2009 with about £30,000 of debt, which I was thankfully able to clear. My sister, who's also a doctor, graduated 6 years after me with over double that amount of debt. Right. And now we have medical students who are graduating, starting F1 with over £100,000 of debt.
And making 28,000 a year. Let's just bring.
And they'll never clear that debt.
Yeah, Greg, that is, and I'm very grateful to the doctor. That's the reality, Greg. What would you say to the doctor?
What I'm saying is that they do an important job and they get well paid. I'm not saying they are
£28,000 a year, Greg.
How much?
A junior doctor starts on 28. Now, I know that's a lot of money, but he or she, people's lives are in their hands,
where
Greg.
Does it go from there? Does it go up?
Well, of course it goes up because they take on more. Let's bring Keerthi back in. Keerthi, what would you say to Greg, doctor?
I understand where Greg is coming from, but there really is a lack of understanding of the reality of what happens to him. With the graduate tax, if you like, with student loans and the way they're being paid out nowadays, if a doctor's earning 60,000, which is perhaps what a relatively senior junior doctor's being paid, they're probably only taking home less than 30,000 once you've taken off the tax and the student loan debt, and for the amount of hours they do and the responsibilities taken on board,
it's so grueling. It's so grueling what you men and women do. Keerthi, thank you. I'll let you have a good one today. I hope it's not, well, it will be stressful. I hope it's not too, of course it's stressful, it's what you do, too stressful. As I recall, you're in the NHS. Remind me what it is you do. Sorry, just remind me. You are?
I'm a consultant radiologist.
4 days where some of your colleagues won't provide care. I appreciate this isn't not A&E, but care that will help people who are sick or are in pain. How comfortable would you be with your colleagues withdrawing their services?
I think they have no other option.
Everyone has an option, of course. But,
okay. I mean, this
I
action...
had no choice but to kill him when you did. Yeah, but go ahead, yeah.
The action was announced more than 3 months ago. The Health Secretary literally sent an email saying, I'm willing to meet with you sometime mid-March. So, for a good 2.5 months, they actually refused to discuss any pay at all. And now they've come to the table with something that's, non-negotiable, really.